Another big story breaking as we are recording. I have an article here, CNBC.com. WWE boss Vince McMahon hit with federal grand jury subpoena and search warrant, company reveals. Here are the key points. Federal law enforcement agents executed a search warrant on World Wrestling Entertainment boss Vince McMahon and served him with a federal grand jury subpoena last month, WWE disclosed. No wonder Jerry McDevitt retired. The actions represent the escalation of an ongoing investigation into allegations that McMahon had paid millions of dollars over the years to women after being accused of sexual misconduct. WWE also revealed that McMahon, quote, went on medical leave after undergoing major spinal surgery. So those are the headlines and the big bullet points here. Before I get to anything else, how much of this are you aware of right now? What do you want to say about it?
Well, first of all, why is there still an ongoing investigation? Haven't we established, yes, he did? Yes, he did have sexual congress with these women, and yes, he did pay them some money. Didn't we pretty much move past that a while back?
Well, I don't know if I want to say move past it, but we certainly acknowledge that did happen.
We have moved past whether it was in doubt or not, is what I'm saying to you. Why are they still investigating?
Well,
are they trying to find out if there's more? What difference does it make? He came back and took his ball back and sold it. What are they going to do now?
No, it hasn't been sold yet. It hasn't happened yet. It hasn't been official yet.
Well, I bet you he's got some kind of money from somebody in a fucking satchel somewhere.
What do you think they're searching for? A search warrant? What would they be looking for?
I don't know, but...
does he have a dress? Like with stains on it? Like, what are they looking for?
No, neither one of them were wearing clothes when that happened. But the summons, the subpoena, and the surgery seem to be a recurring trend, because do you remember...
the neck brace.
The steroid trial in 1992, at the same time as Vince was in court testifying.
Oh,
in
94.
That trial,
94.
94. I'm sorry. The whole thing started in 92. But in 94, when he was in court testifying, he was wearing a neck brace from a neck surgery that I believe I have heard mentioned was an elective procedure that he just decided, well, it'd be a good time to get it done. There's pictures of him smiling and holding hands with Linda wearing this fucking, I don't know, it was a neck brace or a toilet seat around his neck. But he had neck surgery so he could go into court wearing a neck brace. It looked like a goddamn, I expected to see fucking Joe Pesci show up. And now at the same 30 years later, he's subpoenaed and or summonsed and or searched. And he also got surgery on his fucking neck.
His back this time. Spinal surgery.
Well, okay, your spine.
You can wheel him into the courtroom in a bed.
Where is it?
Yeah.
Is it upper back, lower neck? Is it in between his taint and his coccyx?
According to WWE, McMahon's leave began on July 21st, and he will remain on medical leave until further notice, but will remain executive chairman.
When was he served? With the subpoena or the summons or the search warrant?
The search warrant and subpoena came on July 17th, which is a year
went on
after
medical
news.
Leave on July 21st.
On July 21st, he went on medical leave. That's right.
And had a major spinal surgery, is what we are being told. I wonder if he used Shawn Michaels as back doctor.
I was kind of joking before, but now timeline-wise, no wonder Jerry McDevitt's like, you know what? I'm done with the MLW case. I'm done with all of this.
Yeah, well, then that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, look at is this history going around the bend again? If he lives to be 110, is the government going to come after him again?
But again, when you say when the government come after him, the first time it was a bullshit. I mean, not to say that he didn't love steroids and want his guys on it, but right. The distribution charge in Nassau County was bullshit. We don't know what this is yet.
I don't know. All I'm saying is it seems awfully odd. Now, I'm not saying that somebody would have majorly invasive spinal surgery just as a reflex action from getting served, but maybe he thought, well, it might be a good time. Get some sympathy. I don't know, but every time he gets in some hot water like this, he's going to the surgeon. So
if there's another big trial for Vince McMahon, Do you think he shows up to court with the mustache and the dyed hair, or without it?
I'm thinking
He's looking for sympathy.
he's going to go full on Vincent the Chin Gigante.
Really? He's going to show up in a bathrobe.
He's going to come in a bathrobe and slippers with no socks. He's going to have a neck brace on. His hair will be disheveled. He'll be drooling out of one side of his mouth, and he'll be walking in circles.
You know, it's sad.
That's the way he's going to get out of it.
It's really sad that I could envision Vince McMahon doing these things based on all of his acting that I've seen for years as Mr. McMahon. I could totally see him do it. There's nothing he wouldn't do to stay out of jail, right?
Of course. Vince McMahon's never going to go to jail. If he has to buy the goddamn jail, he will not be going to jail. And we don't know if this is a jailable offense or if this is a search warrant related to whatever they're investigating related to the financial fucking concerns, and whether or not that he may then be able to plead ignorance is no excuse of the law or some shit like that. But
we have a search warrant. No one's seen Linda in years.
Well, there you go. Where's Linda in all this? Somebody find where Linda is. And then maybe they can nominate her to be his court-appointed caretaker. And then there's a fucking reality show.
He's going to keep playing this game. Again, last year, he gets hit with all these charges, then just announces, 77, time to retire. I'm going. Lets it all die down, pops back up, bigger than ever. And now all of a sudden, the feds are after him. Last time it was the neck, now it's the entire spinal column. They're going to have to push him into the courtroom in a fucking bed. You know that already. He's going to be just a head with blankets all over him in the courtroom.
The blankets and the clicker for his morphine drip. But that's, and the way that this takes so long, and the feds need to put their resources behind Trump. I don't care how many paralegals that Vince dallied with. The health and safety of the United States and the world at large is more important than whether Vince goes to jail. Put fucking Trump in prison first, and then we can worry about the minor offenders. But I know he's not going to jail, and I guarantee you it won't fuck. If Ari Emanuel already knows that he's doing business with Dana White and Vince McMahon, nothing he's going to hear at this point is going to change his fucking mind.
That's right. This is not like Podcast One and Colin Thompson. This is Vince McMahon and Ari Emanuel.
Yeah.
They know what they're getting. They're not going to bail out now.
So I think everybody's fine. Everybody's going to be just fine.
You think Vince will be just fine?
Well, Vince will be just fine. Unless, for whatever reason, the surgery goes sideways. And then maybe they'll just... I wonder if they can straighten Vince's spine, they could curve it also. That means that eventually there's help for Vince Russo getting his own head out of his own ass. That thought just came to me.
Well, Jim, regardless of the statements issued, it seems like Vince may be in a lot of trouble, and Jerry McDivitt announced his retirement. He's done at the end of the year. I don't know if he's going to want to jump on this if it's going to go past the end of the year, because that was his excuse for leaving the MLW suit.
Yeah, no, he's gone, Jerry. He's history.
I don't know why I said Jim. Vince may need new counsel.
Well, that's exactly right, Brian, because with McDivitt, the wonder boy of the previous legal era, having ridden off into the sunset on old paint and to enjoy his retirement while he can before Vince got in any more trouble, now he's out of the picture. And who in the world has the command of the American jurisprudence system? Who in the world has the ability to tongue twist all of the opposing counsel's words against them? Who in the world can possibly bail Vince out of this mess and neck collar at the same damn time?
Call Stephen P. News. If you need to sue. An outlaw mud show or two. He'll sue the rest.
And Brian, yes, I say this in all sincerity. I believe the only person that could stand up in front of a judge, that could stand up in front of a jury and point at Vince McMahon and say, Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, this here crook is innocent. Is the man, the myth, the legend himself, Stephen P. New at newlawoffice.com, 888-692-8084. The phone call won't cost you a thing, but in return, you will be showered with American currency, greenback dollars, courtesy of the people that have wronged you, have unlawfully terminated you, have given you cancer. Or he might even do, fucking negligent pregnancies. Who knows? If you were negligently impregnated, call Steven. That's a thing that you might need to check into.
I better check into him about all this. I don't know if he does any of this or wants to.
If people have been negligent around your general vicinity, and you or your family have been harmed in some way by this negligence and disregard for your property and your well-being and your mental state of mind, Stephen P. New will drag the offenders into a court of law and give them a legal slapping about the head and face and make them immediately fork out their hard-earned money that they stole from somebody, possibly you, back to you. So that's what he's going to do. And I don't even know, though, if he will represent Vince, because Steven's got such a great track record going on, and we don't know how guilty old VKM is. So maybe Steven is going to be like, like when all the good lawyers turned Trump down because they didn't want to spoil their winning records. I don't know whether Steven is the perfect fit for Vince McMahon, but he's the perfect fit for you, ladies and gentlemen. And I will guarantee you one more thing. The people that have offended you, his foot will be a perfect fit in their ass right in the middle of the courtroom. And there'll be the bailiff, old Judge Judy's bailiff, trying to pull Stephen P. New's foot out of somebody's anal orifice that he has lodged it in there.
I thought you said they'll be the bailiff.
The bailiff will be helping to pull the foot in, because once Stephen puts that illegal foot up an ass, he can't get it out by himself. It's stuck.
I thought you said he was going to kick the bailiff and then...
No, the bailiff is going to be pulling the foot out of the ass that he's put up the person that is going to be paying you money if you're Stephen P. New's customer. And I don't know whether we're going to get any particular money out of Colin Thompson, the alleged weasel from Cast Media, but by gum, we're going to have him hauled into court, and he's going to be answering a litany of questions, because that's one thing that Stephen P. New is good for doing in a courtroom, and that's asking a lot of questions.
We're going to be going through his emails. We're going to be going through his text messages. We're going to be talking to friends in Los Angeles and St. Louis and Chicago. We're going to be doing everything we have to do to find out where our money went and how it was spent.
Where everybody else's is, too.
That's right.
It might be somewhere on a South American island, or a South American country out in the Pacific Ocean, or never know where that these things are hidden. But anyway, Stephen P. New will find out. newlawoffice.com, 888-692-8084.
That's right. Do you think when Vince goes to trial, the Wild Samoans will show up again like they did in '94 to mouth the words "not guilty" to the jury?
They just sat there in the courtroom and stared at the jury and not guilty.
How great would that be if all of a sudden old Alpha and old Sika show up in matching suits to the courtroom?
No, but it's got to be the next generation. Now it's got to be Rikishi. In comes a 400-pound giant and sits there on two chairs.
You don't think it would be better if it was the original two? That's like a throwback to the first film.
I'm afraid, unfortunately, that the modern jury audience might not recognize how badass those guys were in their prime, and instead see fossilized remains of what was once the Wild Samoans.